The following is a presentation of TFNN. The TFNN Bull Bear Trading Hour. Every trading day, live at 10 a.m. Eastern. Call now, toll free at 877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The TFNN Bull Bear Trading Hour. Now, Tom and Tommy O'Brien.
What a problem with us out here. We have the Dow Industrials down 20, NASDAQ up 58, S&P's up 3, gold contract up $16, trading $19.39 an ounce. Silver up 65 cents, $26.92 an ounce. You get both gold and silver, folks. You get Jackson Hole today. The bottom line, you get a headline coming across. The Fed's been doing a review for about a year and a half. And they're looking, well, we'll see whether what's going to say in the as these leaking out a bit. They're talking zero rates for 5 years. That's a total mind blower. There's no doubt about that. Oil up 16 cents, $43.52 a barrel. Notes and bonds. The 10-year down 5 ticks, trade 139.04. The 30-year off 22 at 177.27. And King Dollar up 31 ticks. Had every chance to go after those swing points from the 3rd and 12th of August and gave it up in spades. The euro's at 118, the yen is at 106.24, the British pound is at 131 to 1 U.S. dollar. Tom O'Brien, what's going on?
There's a lot going on in the market, man. I cannot take my eyes off the Salesforce chart this morning because every 5 seconds I look at it and it's higher than it was the previous 5 seconds.
I don't blame you, and you scored in a big way. I know that. That's a beautiful
Everything's
thing.
relative, man. This move, I mean, you can never go wrong with a profit, but my goodness, it's up $54 right now from where it was yesterday at $216.
You gotta love it. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Kevin Hinks at TD Ameritrade. Think or swim as we do each and every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And if you want to understand options, folks, bottom line, option strategies, it's where it's at. You don't want to just be buying a call, selling a put, buying a put, selling a call, whatever that is. You want a strategy. Why? Because it's the most wonderful time of the year. Salesforce is just one of them. I mean, it's hard to comprehend that it gets in the Dow, it goes up, comes out with numbers, and explodes topside. Bottom line, every day here, 11 to 12 Eastern Standard Time. Check it out. Kevin Hinks, what's going on?
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Tommy. You know, Tommy, I'm finding myself watching the Salesforce chart as well, and if Salesforce action does nothing else, it should remind us to trade risk defined in any way, because if you had any upside exposure, the expected move in Salesforce was about $8.80. So do the math on that one.
And that's in either direction, right, Kevin?
Yes,
Man.
In either direction, yes.
Yeah.
So, and that's after it moved yesterday based on the news that's going into the Dow.
That's what was so amazing, Kevin.
The freight train that is Salesforce reminds us that we should be risk defined in our trade, because we put on a range-bound strategy that is not going to do well, but we have a limited amount of risk in this name because we understood that there was a chance it could move exponentially. We didn't want to play it that way, but looking back, we probably should have.
No, you got to factor in that there's going to be losses that are going to come, right? It's inevitable. I talk about it all the time on my newsletter. It's a part of being a trader, man, for sure.
Exactly. Like, I mean, for instance, JW Nordstrom coming out today, right? Their earnings were lower than expected. But people got to make sure you're looking at Nordstrom the right way. They moved the anniversary sale from last quarter to this quarter. So that's not showing up. It's skewing some of their numbers. That's why you see the numbers were pretty bad out of Nordstrom, but that big jump that they get every year from the anniversary sale is going to be a quarter late. So you have to look at Nordstrom a little bit of a different way. So everything's got a story, but this Salesforce chart and the trade in Salesforce is ridiculous.
It is.
And that's the nicest way I can say it.
Kevin, you guys didn't give it a $60. You didn't give it a 30% range when you were making that trade. That's astounding.
Yes, we did not. What were we thinking that we didn't plan for that? So But that
I've
being
never
said,
seen something
Tommy,
like that for a Dodge.
if that was your thought, if you thought it could move like that, there is a strategy that could have done well. The range-bound strategy didn't do well, but it's been doing very well throughout earnings season. This one particular time, it did not do well, guys.
Well,
this is quite an anomaly, man.
You know what's so cool about this, Kevin, right? You know, every day when I bring you on, right, the bottom line is that I know your strategies are amazing, man. I mean, you know this business upside down, which I think is so cool. I mean, I've been in here a long time, too, but the bottom line is that you breathe it, man, you know, inside of this. And Tommy's breathing it now, and it's really freaking cool because it just depends what you think and where you think. And this defined risk is a monster, man, meaning when you have it, this is, you know, you're into probabilities. We're in the probability business, folks. It seems, you know, and it's getting more and more, which is pretty cool. Because if you understand the probabilities, it's a whole different ballgame. Do you know what I'm saying?
Kevin, I was just going to say, could you talk about, I mean, we get the VIX right at around 22. There's huge volatility priced into a lot of these equities, and a lot of them are not moving 30%, of course, on their numbers. And how, with the VIX at 22 in this market, how that kind of plays into some of these stocks and the premium that is priced into them when they're coming into these events that they're looking for?
Sure. The expected moves that you're getting from these earnings events are bigger than they normally would be. Why? Because normally in mid to late August, that VIX number is probably a 12 or an 11 or at most a 13. So it's almost double where it normally is for this time of the year. And that's been the case all summer long. There's been great levels of summer trading in terms of premiums and implied volatility. So that way's been very good. VIX sitting around 22 seems very cheap if you look in the last 6 months. But historically, remember the historical average for the VIX, once it went into the S&P 500, is about 15.39. That's the average. So we have been now above average for a long period of time. So that increases the expected move from the event, because you not only got the implied vol higher from the event, but you've got the overall market implied vol higher. So you've got to understand both of them. It's making the outside moves. That being said, our strategy had an 80% chance probability of being correct in Salesforce. Not 100, clearly. Even if it was 99%, it didn't come in. Because so it's never zero, it's never 100, and you've got to live to trade another day by controlling your risk.
And like you say, man, I was just thinking the poor souls that are ever short something like CRM, man, as it pops $53. I mean, man, oh man, overnight. There was almost not even an opportunity to get out of it before it's up that high this morning.
Yeah, it was up $24. I was on a show on the TD Ameritrade Network right after it came out, and it was up $26 right away. Yeah. It gave you no chance to really cover at a reasonable level if you were short.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, folks, every trading day right here, you want to understand these strategies, you want to understand the future market, outstanding program. If you haven't test-driven yet the Thinkorswim platform, so easy to do. You're on the site, hit the banner, bring it up. They'll allow you to trade with paper money. You can follow Kevin and his team every trading day. Kevin, we didn't get a chance to talk about Dick's Sporting Goods, but it's pretty amazing. If you take care of your customers, keep them safe, right? You get a big box store that just blew it out, right?
Enormous beat by them.
I know. Yeah. Amazing, man.
Yeah.
Listen, man, have a great one. Have a safe one. What day is today?
It's Wednesday.
Oh, good. We still got them tomorrow. I like it. We look forward to the program, Kevin. Have a great one, man.
Have a good day, guys.
Thank you. Stay right there. Tom and I come right back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's down 22. The Nasdaq's up 63. S&Ps are up 4.5. And we'll go over to that whisper number, Tom. We get oil coming up, right?
Interesting day in oil with, a big storm bearing down on the Gulf. Hurricane Laura, man, these storms, it's like they always, it seems like a few days ahead they said, it's going to be okay once it hits the Gulf. I always say, how do they know that, man? It seems like they always hit the Gulf and explode. Now what's happening? It's going to be a Hurricane 4 with 130-mile-an-hour winds as it hits kind of Louisiana and Texas, man.
Right. Yeah. And, the bottom line, folks, is that, I'm sure you heard many times, Tommy and I were in Katrina. If I've learned anything, and I was looking at the NOAA chart last night, when it's in the middle of that Gulf, okay, let me tell you something, folks. It accelerates. So when you're looking at the Gulf, just picture a big bowl. And most times they'll either come up the side of Florida or they go to the left-hand side and they go closer, more to Texas. If it gets in the middle, man, I mean, it's just the water's so hot, it just explodes topside, man. It
sure is.
And it did it. So oil right now, so we get a survey number, a whisper number. Oh, this is interesting, man. The survey number is not available. The whisper number is a draw of 554,000. Let's just bring this up. It's going to be interesting.
I think you were on the wrong one there.
Oh, was I? Let's see.
Yeah, you're on Cushing or
crude oil
second one down.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so a draw of 3.2 million is the whisper. Survey's 2.5.
Okay, so pretty close. They're looking for a draw between about 2.5 million barrels and 3.2 million barrels.
Yeah, so let me bring this up. And I mean, it's going to be intriguing to see, does it... Oh, look at this, man. This thing's ready to break topside anyway. Yeah. Hey, I'd say there's going to be... Okay, so let's go back to this because...
Pretty tough to short oil.
No, I'm saying oil's going higher, right. I guess, you can see people were buying it yesterday flat out.
Yes. Yesterday was the day that everybody kind of realized it was going to be a real deal.
Right.
And it backed off pretty quick, though, from that realization, for sure.
It did. Now, that will have nothing to do, this is interesting, because that really has nothing to do with what actually happened last week, because this is a new deal. But they're saying, okay, so if we think oil's going higher, there's going to be more of a draw.
Yep, there's going to be less supply, causing higher prices potentially.
Okay. What do you think? You want to give me a number?
Let's go minus 3.4, minus 3,400.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Now, so I went in and I Googled Gulf water temps, right? So I have the National Centers for Environmental Information, and they got a bunch of stations out here. The water temps, folks. Now coming from Boston, right? We're not familiar with we were not in the past of how warm all these waters get, right? We're dealing with 87 degrees already, man. When you're talking about they got all the stations, 86.9 degrees for this station out here in the Gulf, right? Let's see where I would go lower. 87.4. You go a little bit further south, right? We go a little bit east, and you're talking about 83.5. You go a little bit north, you're back to almost 85 degrees. Okay, so you see the type of acceleration they can have, and this storm is coming right towards where we are here. Look at 87 degrees when you talk about where it's going to come into landfall. And the dicey thing here, which is why I say oil, we're at the beginning of when things get really bad for the storms, because the water is so high in temperature.
It is.
That even though you might start to get a little bit of cooler weather into September occasionally, you're not cooling down the waters. They're actually
And it's occasionally, too, because the sun right now is so hot, folks. You just can't stay in it. It's unbelievable.
I'm almost being like exaggerating, occasionally. We might get 1 or 2 days that it's not sweltering, right? But so this is a tough scenario for the next month. I mean, I think Katrina was right at around this time, late August, if I recall.
It was. I believe it was, 15 years ago, last weekend, or this week or something.
Many years ago. That's all, 2014 or 2015 maybe, yeah. We'll look it up, but those. I mean, 86 degrees, man. It's a little crazy, man. Let's see what the temperature is around Tampa. 86 degrees. There you go, right in around there. Exactly.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna, the bottom line is that we're talking about CRM, and the bottom line, you have just done phenomenal, man, in your newsletter. I mean,
thanks so much, man. We'll go over the trade show. I've had a very fortunate start. I've started to stress risk reward essentially in my newsletter because, like Kevin talks about, man, they had an 80% chance, and we've done a lot of trades in Rocket Equities and options. We had one in Best Buy, very similar to probably what they did in Salesforce, talking about a range-bound trade. So far, that seems to be working out. For Best Buy, we had an area between about, let's see where we are today, between about 110 and 119 was the range we created in Best Buy. We're trading at about 113 on that stock. Yesterday in the morning, you can see, though, we were below that level. Now, CRM, here's what we decided to do, okay? We'll go over it.
Yeah.
We decided to buy a bull call spread, okay?
Yeah.
So we bought now this closed at about 216 yesterday, which is almost unimaginable. We're trading at 270, okay?
Right.
But trading at 216 as of the close. It was already up about 4% yesterday going in. And, just going over some of the fundamentals, going over the technicals, and going over the fact that I saw it very difficult for the stock to accelerate lower with a bid under that stock, knowing it's coming into the Dow, right?
Wow,
a lot of variables going in there.
Yeah. Right.
So I said, you know what? We're going to look for some upside potential for CRM. I mean, there's nothing like the cloud right now. That's, there really isn't. And it showed last night. So we bought a 222.50 call.
Okay.
That one cost us about $3.25 or $325 per contract.
Yeah.
Okay, for 100 shares. And then we sold a 230 call, okay? And that one gave us about 100. That one was about $1.50, maybe $1.60. Basically, when that happened, the bull call spread cost us about $164 or $1.64.
Okay.
Debit, okay?
Yeah.
And we achieve a max profit if it closes anywhere above 230.
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident this morning that that's going to be achieved by Friday.
Yeah.
But so you're risking 164 with a max profit of 586. Now the 586, just to explain it a little bit, because I really try and go through. I've gotten some great emails from my subscribers saying, listen, I love the trades, but I love how you're walking me through it too, because I'm really starting to understand it.
Right.
Because that's part of it, man. You can't just, especially options, right? Because they get a little sophisticated. They do.
Yeah. And
you want people to understand when they're putting their money at risk. Okay. So we say, listen, we got a debit of $1.64 because we're buying a more expensive call, which is the 222.50,
right,
than the one we're selling, which is $7.50 further out of the market.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? I think I even have some of the charts that we had in here. Let me see if I do. Let me see if I have what I was looking at. No, that's not it.
And so the max, the sellout is, well, you don't have to sell it out because realistically it's going to expire and the money goes in the account, right?
Exactly. Now, what I wanted to go over, though, is that you put up 100. Perfect. Here we go. Here's the exact trade. We'll put it up, all right? Now, these are the types of images that I'm putting in here, all right? Now, you got to love graphically how things represent. Perfect. We're going to tease it. Let's tease it, baby. We'll be back with those oil numbers.
We're going to be back with oil, and we're going to be back with this trade, folks. Dow Industrial's down 53, Nasdaq's up 69, S&P's up 4. Tommy and I come right back.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's down 42, Nasdaq's up 79, S&Ps are up 5.5. And, hey, this is good, man. Inventories fell 4.69 million barrels. Okay. Gasoline fell 4.58. Maybe we get close on this one. We'll see.
Let's see what we got happening. Pretty muted response so far. 43.63, a little bit of a pop on oil so far. Yeah, a little bit of a pop, but no real huge reaction so far on that contract.
And let me just pop this baby. Where's that message?
No, we were at minus 3,400 was our guess.
Right. Well.
So we were on 1.2 million barrels off, maybe, or
Yeah, it was still over it, but no action. Okay, so let's finish. Let's go through this trade of yours.
Perfect. So this was CRM, and this is just something, when you talk about, and this is why I love, Think or Swim, Fast Market, man. I've learned a lot from watching their program as well. They go through all these trades. There's nothing like experience to learn what you're doing, folks.
Right.
You can get in and you can make option trades for one contract for $50, $150. You're not talking about 10 grand, 15 grand you can get, because you got to have a little skin in the game to get a little experience here so you feel comfortable in these types of markets. So again, going over. So here it is visually, which will help you understand it. So you buy the 222.50 call. That one was at about 330. Okay, here. You're selling the 230 call. So basically, you're giving yourself a profit range where you start accruing value of $7.50, right? You get to buy it at 222.50, and then you're basically forced to sell it when it goes above 230 because someone else now has the right to buy it from you, basically at 230.
Right,
okay?
and that's still this is still a defined risk trade.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Now, visually, why I love these charts, focus on the blue line here on this chart, okay? Because the blue line talks about what happens as of expiration, 8/29/20, okay? Your max loss.
Al, get his chart up, please.
Your max loss is talking about $164 approximately. You see the blue line, you see the axes on the left, your max loss, $164. Now, here's the key. Your max loss is anywhere from $222.50 or less. That's more than $6 out of the money, folks, okay? It is highly probable that you're going to lose your entire investment when you make these trades a lot of the time, okay? But you're risking $164, and then you see the max profit is $586, which is achieved if you go above $230, okay? And you see the blue line depending on where you are, okay? Now your break even becomes your 222.50, where you start to gain value. And then you have to make up the cost of this trade, right, which is about $164. So give or take, you're talking about $224 and change, okay? And that's where this line is here on the chart. And then above there, you start to gain profit, okay? Now, this one worked out tremendously. You only put up $164. You're going to make almost $600. If you put up $150, you would have made $600. So it's almost a 400% profit, okay, on this trade. And the reason why I liked it so much is because, I mean, this is an anomaly. Like I said to Kevin, more credit to that team, to the CEO over there at CRM. They just crushed it. I said to you, I listened to the conference call last night, and I haven't listened to a million conference calls, but man, I have not heard every analyst kick off their question with just saying, congratulations, quite a quarter, simply amazing what you did, simply, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So here's what, I said to you, the moves are staggering in terms of what they have, but there's no regret, period, on this trade, because I didn't want to risk, by just buying a call at 222.50, I didn't want to risk $3.30 for a stock that was $6 plus out of the money, because you lose it all.
Exactly.
A lot of the time, folks. So I'm a lot more comfortable almost cutting that in half, right? You cut it in half, you risk $180, $164, and you make 400%. Now, here's what to consider, right? Percentages. Because let's just say you buy the 222.50 call, okay? You buy it at $3.30. Okay, so you start gaining value at 222.50. Your break even would become 222.50. You got to make up the 330. Let's just say even it's 350. You got to get to 226 before you even break even. Okay, and then if you want to make 400% on this trade, you got to make about $12. So you got to get to 238 to make 400% on this trade, and we only had to get to 230 to make 400% on our trade. Okay? Now, yeah, it's staggering what this stock has done. I said to you, I mean, just to break it down, you bought this 330 call at 222.50. CRM right now, I mean, that is almost worth, $5,000. Staggering. But, folks, we're in the long run of this game, okay?
Yeah,
Don't be trading options looking for a Dow stock to trade 26% positive overnight after trading 4% positive the previous day. I have no regrets at all because it was a great trade. My methodology was right. They just crushed it out of the park even more than I thought that's going to happen. But I like the trade. I like how it gave me that area of profit potential. Now, I'm going to go over the next one I did to compare for Kevin, okay, in terms of the range, because I have up here my Best Buy trade.
Yeah.
Okay? So here's the Iron Condor. This is a similar trade to probably what Kevin had going on, and I say the same thing in here. Now this one, I basically, I sold the 110 put, and I bought the 109. And on the upside, Best Buy was trading at 117 coming into earnings, okay?
Yeah.
So I gave myself an Iron Condor, but I gave myself an Iron Condor with some negative bias, okay? I didn't expect a huge move, but I also didn't expect it to really go much higher. If anything, I expected it to pull back a little bit. Thankfully, it worked out pretty well, man. You have Best Buy trading right now at about 113, which is pretty awesome, okay? And the key here is that this, you can see the profit and the losses, right? So we were risking about $50 per contract pair, per contract four-leg trade.
Yeah.
Now, you lost that if it was anywhere below 109 or if it was above 120, and you achieved your max profit with a $9 range from 110 to 119.
That's a
Okay, so
sweet
you're almost-
range, man.
Yeah, you're almost risking 1 for 1. Now, I'll even go further. Right, 15 minutes ago, we actually got out of this trade. Okay. And we got out of it
Nice.
for 20 cents.
Yep.
Okay, so we risked 50. And we did risk 50, but we collected a credit of 50, okay? And we decided to pay 20 to get out of this trade.
Nice.
So we made 30, okay? Now, the reason why is because Best Buy, if we check it out, is trading right now at 113.38. But look at the moves Best Buy has had this morning, man. If this goes below 110, we start to miss our max profit. If it goes below 109, we lose everything.
Right.
And Best Buy this morning alone has moved from 114.25 to almost 111.50, back up $2 to 113.35. So we were able to close that out by paying 20 cents per pair.
Sweet.
And we had collected 50, so we made about 60% on that trade for a range-bound trade. I didn't feel like holding Best Buy today, tomorrow, and Friday because we are risking now $80.
Are you risking how much?
We would be risking 80 to make that last 20.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you're initiating a trade, folks, right now, and maybe you want to, that's not my bias. Would you want to risk $80 to make 20, saying that Best Buy won't close below 109? And you have the upper end as well of 119. I just didn't want to do that. That's not the game I was in. Best Buy's moving a lot today. You might get a sell-off in the market. So some nice trades out there.
And folks,
worked out well. So, yeah.
And it's real easy.
Keep that risk in check, man, because they're not all 4 bangers.
That's right.
We've had some
That's
great
right.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's real easy to get his newsletter, folks, okay? Come over to our website at TFNN. You hit newsletters. You're going to see on the right-hand side, Rocket Equity has options. Bottom line, you hit view. You're going to hit subscribe. The newsletter per month is $97 for 1 month, $449 for 6, $785 for a year. All with 30-day money-back guarantee.
We got equities in there, too. We got long-term portfolios. We're just looking at the options, man. There you go.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Dow down 31, Nasdaq's up 91, S&Ps are up 7. We got gold up 24, silver up 76 cents. Let's go over to my man, Mr. Teddy Cakestad, as we do each and every Wednesday at 40 past the hour. You can reach Teddy every trading day, folks, at forex-trading-unlock.com. The website is forex-trading-unlock.com. Teddy Cakestad, what's going on, brother?
Oh, I'm glad to talk to you guys again this week. We have some interesting things going on in the currency markets.
I'll tell you.
So, now remember last week I mentioned that we were starting to see some signs of divergence coming in with the currencies as well as some other markets that might give us an indication of what's going on.
Yes.
And it's funny how the dollar actually bottomed last Tuesday, Wednesday, and now has had a nice little bounce. You know, it's interesting. It's under a little pressure today with certain markets, but it's an interesting scenario now. Gold topped out at the beginning of August. I know you're aware of that.
Yeah.
And then it had a nice little correction. And then last week, it was at that little point, it was looking like, is gold going to start making a run for new highs? And it didn't. And what's really interesting is gold made a lower move high while the dollar made a lower move low.
Right.
And that's right there is a divergence between, I think, we're maybe starting to see is that we're going to have dollar strength creep into the market over the next couple weeks. Now, it's not going to be anything significant. I'm not looking for a major boost in the dollar, but I think that you're going to see an unwinding in these other currencies. And remember how for a while they were all trending together against or with, either they were strong or they were weak against the dollar, almost all the currencies around globally.
Yes.
Now we saw that the dollar-yen trade, that bottomed back at the end of July, okay? Basically, that stopped right when gold hit its high as well, okay? So the way I'm looking at it is your flight to quality currency in the yen, that's pretty much been unwound now. So now they're kind of settling into basically it's very small moving, higher move high, higher move low situation. So are they bullish? I'm looking for bullish swings, meaning buy dip scenario for the U.S. dollar versus the yen. Now, in that same trade zone, remember I was saying last week how the Europeans, they're trading in tandem, whereas like in the Asian trade zone, you have the yen now where it's starting to get weak versus the dollar, but the Aussie and New Zealand are not so much that way. So there's kind of a little swing trade action going on with those markets in that trading zone, okay? And now we get to the North American trade zone. Mexican dollar is basically a neutral trade, but the U.S. dollar Canada, the U.S. dollar is weak versus the Canada, and I think you're going to still see that to continue. So while we're seeing strength in the dollar versus some of the major currencies, which I think that's going to keep the dollar index not being so bearish anymore, at least as an indicator for the next couple of weeks. But then we come to the European trade, totally different story, and I think you might start to see an unwinding in the euro, the Swiss, and even the pound. And the pound is kind of an indicator because it's strong today.
Right.
And I think that's why the dollar index today it's seen strength over the past week, and then over the past 2 days, it started to see some weakness.
It did.
But
It had a shot to basically get to the swings today, man. It gave it up.
Right. So, but the pound is the one I think you have to look out. If that breaks out to new or move highs, then I think you'll see another gain of strength in the euro and the Swiss. But it looks like that's not happening. It looks like the bulls are starting to run out of gas, and we have a head and shoulders formation that's basically starting in the euro US dollar, also in the US dollar Swiss. Obviously that's a reverse, it's an upside down head and shoulders, and then also in the pound. So if the pound is not
it's interesting, Teddy, the saying and the gold too, man. I mean,
and the gold, and that's what gets back to
it's pretty intriguing, man. I was looking at it, I says, oh, this is going to get interesting,
Sure.
So, yeah.
And that's what we're looking for, is the breakout of either that swing high in the pound or swing low in gold, because if gold takes another dive, I think you're going to see a big dollar rally. You'll see the euro, the pound, and the Swiss definitely have a corrective move, and you'll see the US dollar yen also get a big rally. Now, US dollar Canada and the Aussie and the New Zealand, those are off the table in this trade, okay?
Yeah.
We're talking about the majors, and those I think are ready to swing in tandem, meaning dollar strength and then European currency weakness. Here's another thing. The dollar index, we've been talking about how it's been basically sideways for the past few years, and it really hasn't had that much movement. It's been in a downtrend for quite some time, and the interesting thing is that if you look at how the dollar made a low last week, if this is forming an inverse head and shoulders in the dollar index, then we have a good chance of seeing the dollar actually rally into the election, into November. So we're not talking about just a short-term swing trade then. We're looking at probably a multi-week trade that would take us into September, October, pretty much the end of the third quarter, So at least that's what I'm saying,
No, listen, it's intriguing, Teddy, is that, if we talked yesterday, I'd be saying, yeah, man, I think this is really going to go. I'm really surprised that the dollar gave it up again this morning, because what we have happening here now, you get 4 lower lows since that first bounce in the dollar. So it's like, man, okay, why can't it hold? So it's going to get intriguing here, because I was really worried about gold on the other side, because if the dollar runs like that, man, gold's going to get smashed. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. And you know what? We were talking about this before, how the volumes are dropping off in like the futures, like in the interest rate, there's no trade, okay? And also even in the metals, like if you look at the positioning for all and even the ETFs for all the metal stocks and stuff like that, and even the metals in general, they're overdone. There's so much interest. There's more interest in it than there is product out there, and sometimes someone's going to have to start taking profits, and I think that's something that we're going to see now, and that's what we are seeing in the gold market especially, is that you're seeing people take profits in those metal markets because they've had an amazing run, so, and if you look at expirations, you talk about options. I heard you were talking about the stock options earlier with those spreads and stuff. Very interesting stuff. But we have timelines that are coming to expiration. So now all these people that help to drive this trend up, they got to unwind their positions, whether they roll them or whether they get out of them. And I think that that's what we're going to start to see as we head into the third quarter, because we're coming into an election where everything is going to be pretty much polarized for the next 3 months politically. It's going to flip a coin, So the markets, I think, are going to start to say, hey, where you've made your money, you're going to start taking profits. And then also look to speculate for whatever reaction we have after November 3rd. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, it's a wild one, man. I mean, these currencies, it looks like the bottom line. The currencies, this is the first time in the last 2 days that the bonds actually moved. And they get some volume on the way down today, man. They had volume yesterday. Volume exploded out of them yesterday, and today they get big volume too, man. Yeah.
Right. So, and we are coming into, Matt, got to remember, we're coming to the end of the summer. We have a holiday trade that we're going to be coming into too, and then then we're also right in front of futures expiration for all the financial products.
Right.
So we're going to have some good volatility coming up in a couple of weeks. And I think now is where you're going to start to see the trend that begins to set. And then we'll start swinging around whatever trend that begins over the next week or two as we get through the holidays and get in through the end of the third quarter.
You got to love it. Real action.
Yeah.
Folks, every trading day you can reach Teddy at forex-trading-unlock.com. Teddy, you have a great week, a safe week, and of course we look forward to speaking to next week.
You too, guys.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thanks, Teddy.
Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I are coming right back. We have the Dow down 41, NASDAQ up 102, S&P's up 9. Coming right back.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
Wow!
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's down 40, Nasdaq's up 98, S&Ps are up 8.5. And we were talking about Tommy's newsletter, folks, Rocket Equities and Options. Very easy to subscribe to. You go into newsletters, you're going to see it on the right-hand side. You can just hit subscribe. And as Tommy was saying, we were talking options, but tell them what else is in there, Tom.
Yeah, so we have a long-term portfolio we're building out as well. We got a few equities in there already. And we're going to be making short-term equity trades as well. Now, we've just had a great run. It's earnings season in there. There's been a lot of opportunities. Kevin Hinks talked about it. We got the VIX at 22. We have a lot of huge moves factored into these equities. That's why we've had a few iron condor trades in there to capitalize on some of these. But yeah, I got a long-term portfolio section. That's a straight-out equity, you know, building a real portfolio, whether it's just for long-term investing, IRA investing, 401k, all of that stuff. We got that in there. It's just really what I'm looking at personally. You know, that's the reason why I started the newsletter, right? I have a long-term portfolio.
That's when
I'm
it's
trading
comfortable,
options.
man. That's the bottom line.
You know, it took me a while to feel comfortable enough to make recommendations people are going to be following. Thankfully, I'm there. They're working out well in the beginning. So yeah, check it out. 30-day money-back guarantee, man. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Off to the races. That's
You
right,
got it, man. How about gold off to the races, man?
Yeah, there's a good bid. Well, you heard me when I said to Teddy, yesterday I was a lot more nervous. I think the dollar's done again, man. I don't understand why this dollar couldn't get to those swing points, man. The swing points are the biggest dead cat bounce I've ever seen anyway. But that's why it's so unreal that it couldn't get to them, folks, okay? It's like, it's like it couldn't even get to the swing point from last Thursday.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's like, okay, man, they're selling it. And when Powell comes out and says 5 years at 0 rates.
I read that article, man.
I mean,
tomorrow,
seriously?
Tomorrow will be interesting, man.
Yeah.
It's big time.
I'll take it. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. But
how's that housing market going for you?
Oh, I know, man. It's on fire. Seriously, man. Stay right there. We got Think of Swim coming up next. I'm Matt Basil, Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White. I'll be back this afternoon. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, man.